Hello gamers, welcome to the penultimate Kickstarter update. Now, I couldn't decide how to start this video. The other version was me looking like this. Oh, hi, welcome. So that's you can pick and choose which one you want the actual intro of the video to be. But we have some cool things to talk about. I took some ambient footage, game environment of by the actual retreat, and I just walked around and took some ambient footage, and I'm going to like compile them into a nice clip at the end of this video, and I'm going to put some nice music that I've done, and it's going to be very nice. And I don't know why I like the ambientness of it so much, but like last year I took some ambient videos of Machina and put it online and put some nice music, and then no one watched it. But you gotta stick to your guns. I don't know. I just think they're neat, Video games, they're neat, and the ambient footage of video games is also a neat thing, I think. So that's what we're doing. We have a few interviews, and they are actually online now for you to peruse, is the word that I'm gonna use. I'm going to go over the PC Gamer interview because I think that's an interesting one, and it turned out to be a really kind of a nostalgic conversation as well. So this is PC Gamer. We've been talking to Ted from PC Gamer. Great guy. It kind of turned into a conversation about like, oh, how did you guys meet? When we were freeware developed, like we were just making free games and we were making weird stuff, and then we kind of became friends from that time. Then we kind of start. Well, what's the difference of today's industry versus back in those times? And I was like, well, back in those times, you would just make like a silly little prototype and people would actually care. You know, you could just make something small and quick, and like there would be like press articles. If it was interesting enough, people would like talk about it. But now there are so many cool games out there. Yeah, this is what I said. Game design experimentation is done on a commercial scale these days with real budgets and time that you have to put into projects in order to find people who might appreciate it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But the other point is, but budgets and times usually require funding, publishers, and these money people need numbers to know that they will make their money back, which kind of conflicts with the nature of experimentation and trying to push the boundaries of the medium. I almost sound smart there, right? I mean, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I don't want to be one of those like back in those times and stuff. Like I don't want to be nostalgic for no reason. But it was an interesting time to learn how to make games. Definitely, I was making a lot of games with like penises in them, and then people would people would just find them funny or something, or Markiplier would play it, and then a million people would see my penis joke or something, and then that was a different time, I suppose. But then there are also quite a few examples of, games that are still small, still like experimental. They can still find an audience on itch or maybe as a cheap game on Steam or something. But I was also saying, companies have figured out that they can A/B test entertainment, sell games to people in 5-second clips instead of 10 plus minute thoughtful reviews. That means it's harder to sell a game that you need to really sit down and spend time with to appreciate. Less room for nuance. And I think this word nuance is important here, because that is what you want, right? That is what you want to experience in a creative work, I feel like. And that is not always as easy to find. There's this new game, right, called Romeo is a Dead Man, and it's by Grasshopper Manufacture. And if you look at the Metacritic of Romeo is a Dead Man, it has like every score imaginable from different websites. Some people hated this game and some people loved this game. And then the Metacritic score kind of ended up being like 70 something, which, if you think about it, is kind of the ideal experience that you could get out of a video game, because it's like, it just means it resonates with some people very deeply, and then some other people bounce off of it. Because if you make something that everyone would like, then is it actually saying anything? Maybe not, right? And this is the thing, right? I was listening to the No Clip podcast, and they were like, "Yeah, that's the best kind of game. Is that just a 7 out of 10 that is very divisive." And I also listened to this podcast called Insert Credit, and like they literally define an insert credit video game as a 7 out of 10 divisive video game. A 7 out of 10 game could change your life, whereas a 10 out of 10 game might be like, oh, okay. Yeah, they did it, you know. Let's say God of War Ragnarok, right? That is a game that is really close to perfection. I don't necessarily think that playing that game has inspired me to do anything. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a really well made game and it's a lot of fun. But, like, it doesn't inspire me. I don't know why. But when you make something divisive and something that has a real, like, yeah, I have this thing. I know some people will hate it, but I have this thing. Right? And like those games, sometimes I don't even enjoy them as much as those 10 out of 10 games or 9 out of 10 games, but then they stay in my mind for so much longer. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but yeah, cool interview. Right. So there's other interviews we've done as well. One is called The Sixth Axis, the website, and the other is GameSpew. The GameSpew one is quite nice as well. What else? I want to show you a bit of Unity, a bit of the behind the scenes of it all. I want to talk about this system that I made called Game Sequence, and it's just a script. But so what it basically does is it allows you to play a video. It allows you to do so many things. It allows you to play a video, talk to someone, uh, carry and place something, interact with a specific thing, find a trigger, um, turn your torch on, like a flashlight on or off, save, like you're even using the save file from this, and all of these things. And you're just like putting steps in and giving them IDs and giving them like, okay, use this object to do this. And there's diary entries. There's a lot of stuff here. There's like blink effects, and you can even set, when you have a game sequence, you can even set like start with an outside shot of night. So this will just set the game light as night, and it will do a nice outside shot. And it can also control all of the doors if they're locked or not. So there's a lot of doors in the in the game, as you can see. There will even be more doors as we go along. So what ends up happening is like, this is the actual scene, right? If I put that game sequence prefab here in the scene and then play it, it will automatically play that like night sequence and all of that. Like, I just find the whole like seeing the game in game thing feeling very different from trailers and stuff. Even though even if the trailers are literally like these shots, it just somehow feels quite different. There's a copy of Bobby outside. Hi, Bobby. And then we can run around. That's Edith. That's the trailer shot right there. They're working on their planters. Hello. Hi. So that's a bit of behind the scenes of it all. By the way, slightly late, but happy 9th birthday to Soul Searching. So Soul Searching came out 9 years ago. And the fun fact is that this game has 4 different publishers between different platforms, and yet was self-published in the first place. So I guess that's 5 publishers if you count my company as well. I mean, what can I say? Game business is a mystery. 7 days to go, a week to go, with more than £5,000 until the finish goal, and we have 542 backers, and that is kind of amazing. But yeah, I am starting to see nightmares. I was I was having a nightmare last night, and in this nightmare, I on the last day, last few hours of the campaign, we reached the goal, but in the literal last minute, someone canceled their pledge, and then the campaign failed. That hurt, man. The exhaustion has really set in now. I'm going to say this. So when you're exhausted, you start to feel bad. With life experience, I kind of learned the difference of I should take a nap. I hate everything. I should go out for a walk. I should burn stuff. Like there's that extreme kind of negativity that comes with exhaustion, but you have to kind of stop it and be like, no, things are nice. I'm just tired. It's fine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.